Hello and welcome back to Dusk of the Gods. When we last let off, we found out that Thor kind of broke his hammer, and we're talking to a smith. What can thou tell me of Thor's hammer Mjolnir? For many days did I labor over the hammer. A great weapon it may be, but one flaw does it possess. The flaw? Enchanting a weapon is a great task that most think. While I worked upon the hammer, a horsefly landed upon my forehead and bit me. For a second did I lose concentration and stutter. Stutter? Because the spell was momentarily fouled, Mjolnir ended up with a shortened half. Nevertheless, it is no less powerful than I had intended. It is just that no other than Thor can wield it. Wield? None other than Thor can wield this mighty warhammer Mjolnir? Aye, and to lift the hammer, even he must wear his mighty girdle and gloves of strength, Mengelejar and Jorngriper. Huh. Good to know. I thought it was about being worthy. No, that's the Marvel Thor. Ah, okay. Favored. How's thou forge other items treasured by the gods? Aye, my brother and I have also crafted Odin's magical arm ring, Draupnir, and Frey's golden boar, Gunsberg. You crafted a boar? Yes, it was very messy. I can imagine. Only thou art upon to work upon the hammer of Thor Mjolnir? No one else? Aye. Now straight and to the point. What do you know about the Salsi Volund? He is the son of Ivaldi. He is the Lashi Volund who forged the Sword of Victory, which I must admit is even a greater weapon than the Hammer of Thor. Victory. What can you tell me of the Victory Sword? A masterpiece of craftsmanship. Many hands have held it, but now Vanna Frey wields the weapon. A good thing, too, for the Aesir will need it if they are to be victorious in Ragnarok. Oh, good to know. Thank you. Aye. Hello. I greet thee, Salura. I am Brodar, Odin's lore master and keeper of the runes. Odin has spoken to me and asked that I aid thee in possible, for thou can wield the power of the runes. Ask me any rune, and I shall tell thee of the power it possessed. Well, I don't know any runes, but thanks. But yes, runes are essentially the spells in the game. One spell we have to use, and the rest of them are just very useful. Let's see here. Let's check over here. Hello? Just a stable. But I can creep through here. Hail, warrior! Hail! Hail! Thou must be one of Odin's mighty warriors. I am Strykner, shieldman to the Aesir, Lord Fertility, Frey. Tell me about Frey. What can you tell me about Frey? I am not the sort that speaks evil words to a good friend, but Frey plays the part of the fool. He intends to deliver the Sword of Victory to Asgar's foe, and for the love of a giantess. He spends hours talking to me about Gerd's wondrous beauty. If thou ask me, she is no fairer than most, perhaps comely at best. Forgive me, I should not speak so. Tell me about Gerd. What can you tell me about this giant maiden, Gerd? Like most giants, she dwells in Yontium with her father, Gimir. Gimir knows that without the sword in the Aesir's hands, Asgard shall be at a great disadvantage during Ragnarok. That is why he desires it most. Gerd only agrees for the arrangement because it is her father's wish. What can you tell me about the arrangement? Is there naught else that can be done to convince Gerd to wed Frey without giving up the sword? Aye! But no other Asgard would hear of it. Hela herself possesses a wand that can charm, a rod of subduing, the only one of its likeness. I propose that we attempt to seize it and use it upon the unkindly Gerd. Hela highly prizes the rod, and I'm not sure that there is even a way to steal it. This rod of subduing, what does it look like? Also, you're asking me to roofie a giant? Okay. Come on. This is Norse mythology, but still. It is a shaft roughly hewn of ash wood surrounded by a purple haze. Thou shalt know it if thou seest it. Perhaps I can seize this rod from Hela's grasp. If so, can thou use it to charm Gerd? Aye, with the rod I could convince Gerd that she should sneak away with me to Asgard. It'll be then she who suffers with love sickness for Frey, and not he for her. Gimir will not even know that Gerd is gone until long after I have taken her from their father's castle. Frey and Gerd shall be happy, and Asgard will not lose the sword of victory, if it could only be. Well, good to know, although I am going to tell you that I seriously do not approve of your intent. Let's check in here. Who is it that comes to my hall, Simsummer? Whoever it be, know that I welcome thee, but beware upon the sorrowful times thou hast come here. Why art thou plagued by such sorrow? My heart yearns for the giantess Gerd. She is not soon at my side. I shall succumb to the love sickness, joining Baldur in Hela's desolate realm. Oh, you must be Frey. Frey, son of Njorn and twin brother of the goddess Freya. I am a Vanir, though with father and sister I choose to live in Asgard amongst the Aesir. What can you tell me of the Njord? As Asgard is the Aesir lord, so Njord is the Vanir god of the sea and fishing. After the great war between the Aesir and the Vanir, he was given Asgard as hostage. In return, Honir was given to the Vanir. Ah, I see. What can you tell me of this giant maiden Gerd? How I love her. None fairer does exist between the bottommost root of the highest branch of the great world tree. She is the daughter of Gimir, who has forever despised the gods. Tell me about Gimir. If thou would, tell me more. I can barely stand to utter his name. May Thor's hammer take him. If he were not for my love of his daughter, I would take his head for myself. Her hand did he give me for my magic sword of victory. Lord Frey, I cannot believe thou were so foolish to give the sword in exchange for a giantess. Aye, hence the sorrow I bring upon that of Asgard. For when Ragnarok falls upon us, I fear I shall fall early in battle. I wish there was another way. I truly do. Without Gerd at my side, I shall grieve unto death. Without the sword of victory, I shall fall at Ragnarok and perhaps be the demise of the seer. That was a rock in a hard space. What can you tell me about Honir? He now rules over the Vanir. Feel like a charge he has not taken a liking to. If thou wish to speak with him, he is here in Asgard visiting Odin. Good to know. There must be another way for thee to win the hand of Gerd, even if it be through trickery. Trickery is the way of Loki, and I want not to mimic his ways. Though if there is another way, warrior, I and all of Asgard would be forever in thy debt. Thou must ask quickly, for soon my friend and trusted shieldman Skirmir shall ride to Yontium. Hence he shall give Gimir the sword, and I shall at last be happy until my doom day. Skirmir, what can you tell me of him? A good friend. None do I trust more than he, though he sees this love malady and has befallen upon me as silly. He may be right. If thou wish to speak with him, I am sure he is somewhere in Asgard. Yeah, he's pretty close. Tell me about the Vanir. They are the other race of the gods, brothers and sisters to the Aesir. Long ago they chose to live in the sky and in the water, instead of here in Asgard with the Aesir. As ages have passed, the two races of gods have grown distant from friendship. Now, if I recall right, I'm going to have to look it up because of the spelling, because, yeah, I am not good at, ask him about Skidbalnir. What can you tell me about the magical ship Skidbalnir? It was a gift to me from the sons of Ulva, one of which thou hast met, the smith Ashevon. The ship can be as large or as small as one desires, depending upon the greatness of he who uses the ship. I can make it small enough to carry in a single fist, or as large as the most magnificent ship of war. It is always followed by an obscure, which made it very useful at times. Obscure? Aye, a good sailing wind. No matter where the ship has sailed, is always followed by the most favorable of sailing winds. Useful. This company may prove useful to me in my travels. Could I borrow it from thee? Aye, I see no harm in that. That will only be able to make it a small-sized sailing vessel, but it'll cross any body of water and can sail over land as well. Here, take it. I hope that it aids thee. Perhaps I can do some good for the harm I shall bring upon the Aesir by giving up the Sword of Victory. See ya. So we have Skidbanar. And yep. It travels across sea and land. Probably because they didn't know how to program it to, only be on water. Programming is hard. But I guess if it's magic, you don't have to worry about it. Let's see, let's head back into the long main room of... Hail, Sidorus, in order to meet thee, a warrior such as high station. I am known as Cattell. I could not help but overhear some of the old father's words. I'd like to help if I can. Overhear? I don't think Odin would take kindly to those listen to words he meant for the ears of others. I agree. What is done is done, and as I said, I would like to aid thee. Much of what Odin spoke escapes my understanding. I know of Ragnarok, and I shall fight bravely when the time comes. I did also hear him speak of Gleipnir and the things that thou need. I did hear that one of the elements thou must find is a bear's sinews. There are bears within the forest of Midgard, but thou needst not travel so far. In southern Asgard is the Vigrid plain which hauls Vanir's forest, Mirkwood. There are huge bear in that forest. There are huge bears? Or there is a huge bear? Whatever. As well as wolves. Thou may want to go there to seek to slay a bear. Huge. I thank thee, Kel. Perhaps Odin did intend to know what thou would listen to, and that thou would aid me. Thou need not thank me, Sildura. As I said, it is an honor to speak to thee. Perhaps I shall be able to fight by thy side at Ragnarok. I bid thee well, but before thou depart any quest, thou must want to visit Inghind. He often gives provisions to Odin's warriors when needed. You can find him to the southwest. He has a small hall next to that of the slain Baldur and his son Thorstein. So, southwest. I wish thee well, warrior. Good to know. And more people. Hello. Greetings, lady. Greetings, Sildura. I have already heard much about Odin's newest Einherjar. Such an honor. Thou must be brave indeed. My name is Fulla. I am a handmaiden, the goddess Frigga. If I seem sad, please forgive me. Like many others, I still grieve with the death of Baldur. Tell me of Baldur. So loved was he, especially by his mother Frigga. Baldur's funeral has been some time past, but she still feels much sorrow. Funeral? Were thou at Baldur's funeral as well? What can thou tell me of it? Many gathered to see Baldur's funeral pyre set ablaze and put to sea. Fortunately, Hrothkin, a giantess befriended by Odin, possessed such strength to craft such strength great enough to push the flaming warcraft into the sea. Hrothkin, what can you tell me? Of her I do not know much, save that she is very wise and strong. Thou should attempt to talk to her. She may be able to aid thee greatly. Talk? Before I talk to Hrothkin, I must first know where she dwells. Pardon me, warrior, I cannot tell thee exactly where she can be found, but I do know that she keeps to herself. I have overheard that Odin mentioned to Frigga that Hrothkin lives in Jotunheim. She is a giantess of stone, so it may be wise to search the shores of southwestern Jotunheim. Good to know. And what can you tell me? Hello! Greetings, lady. Well met, good warrior. My name is Hiln, a handmaiden of the goddess Frigga. I am responsible for carrying the prayers of the mortals to the goddess. What can you tell me of Odin's wife, the goddess Frigga? She is kind, just, and often listens to the prayers of those that need her help. Odin cannot ask for a better mistress. Often it is she that guides his hand. Many prayers do I hear, but none more fervent than those of the good King Nuthelti. He has but a single daughter, whom he loves very much. What can you tell me of Nuthelti's daughter? A giant known as Tree Smiter has abducted her. The king greatly fears for her life, as do I. Thou should know what cruel giant kind can be. Abducted? I would ask thee a favor. If thou goest to Midgard, seek out the king and aid him. slay the foul tree smiter and his giant cohorts. Please free Nithiri's daughter. I beg thee. Lady, I feel for thee, but why ask me? Would not Odin, the father of battle, be a better choice? Oh, if thou could only knew how cruel Odin can be at times. Frigga and I have asked him to aid Nithirti, but Odin refuses. He says the good king never was one that favored battle, and that he deserves his plight. Wow. So, Odin can be kind of a terrible person. Yep. And let's check up in here. Have we? Yep. Greetings, Asa friend. Who are you? Ask thee thy name? My name is Hermond. It is I who traveled into Hela's depths and returned asking for Baldur's return to the world of the living. Oh. By what road did you travel to get to the dark realm of Hela? Only one gateway exists that shall take thee to the realm of the dead men. It is a long and perilous journey, for the gate is found within the giant plague Yontim. And may I ask, what was Hela's response to thy request? I'm guessing not very favorable. It was agreed that if all upon earth and heaven would weep for poor slain Baldur, that he could once again walk among the living. A miserable giant wretch by the name of Thok refused to shed tears. Thus was Baldur condemned to remain in the other world. No proof I have, but I believe Thok was in the vile Loki in giant disguise. What a douche. Yes. Where in Yontim is the gateway located? It is far to the north as one can travel, in the mountains at the tip of the world, known as the World's End. The lands there are ruled by the Frosty, lord of the frost giants. A colder welcome thou shalt not find. Who is Frosty? Frosty is a snowman. I don't think so. Yeah, I know, but I wanted to make the joke. He is a great enemy to both men and the gods. I am sure he anxiously awaits the final battle. Beware, warrior, that thy wanderings take thee to his lands. I just accidentally hit my teacup. Frosty would savor those chance to dismember one such as thou, warrior of Odin. Or perhaps he would just feed thee to his dogs. Either way, an unpleasant way to die. Yeah, I know about dying. Aside from Frosty and his giants, what other dangers exist on the path to Hela's other world? Too many to name all, my friend. As I said before, 'tis a treacherous path. There be two dangers that I can warn thee of. Once thou hast entered Hela's netherworld, thou must cross a valley of thorns and a river of blades. I have ridden that path twice. What do you know about the Valley of Thorns? It has been crossed, for there is no way around it. Those who wear not Hell's shoes are ripped by the thorns. That would barely make it 100 paces without the special shoes. Fortunately, my father Odin gave me to me Sleipnir, the 8-legged horse. I was able to ride unharmed through the thorns. Okay, where are the shoes then? Oh, what do you know of the River of Weapons? Its waters are deep and filled with many razor-sharp blades. For the worthy of the glittering plains, boards are provided to allow them to cross unharmed. If thou wish to cross, thou would have to find a different way. With that I cannot help thee. Just know that thou would find no boards to aid thee. They are only for the dead who travel the plains. The plains? Glittering plains? Save for the dead warriors that Odin takes into the battle, and the few others, all dead go to Hela's realm. The just and righteous go to the glittering plains. It is a region of bliss, beauty, and happiness. Likewise, those that are unjust and corrupt in mortal life are condemned to the regions of torture. These lie beyond the Nah gates. The sinners spend an eternity of suffering. So you went there twice. Have you traveled to the other world? Why did thou not perish in the wake of the many dangers in Hela's path? Odin gave to me his horse Sleipnir, a magnificent beast. I could outdistance any or all who sought me harm. Through the thorns and over the river of weapons did Sleipnir gallop uninjured. I would suggest that thou ask Odin for the use of Sleipnir, but the horse only allows those of Greybeard's blood to saddle it. Now, I know not much has been happening in these last few videos. I promise you the game does pick up. It's just at the beginning, this game is a little quiet, aside from this soundtrack, which is probably the worst one in the game. Let's see, where is here? And we will talk to you next time, or when we come back, more Dusk of the Gods. Have a good one.